Example 3. A student taking a quiz randomly guesses the answers to 4 true-false questions. What is the probability of a student guessing exactly 2 correct answers? So let's start with, okay, this is a true or false test, and he's guessing. There's 4 questions. So we have to first find our sample space, and I'm going to start with question 1. On question 1, he can guess true or he can guess false. So we could use T or S, but really it's asking us of him guessing exactly 2 correct answers. So really I want to know, well, yeah, he guessed true or false, but did he guess it correctly or did he guess it incorrectly? So on the first question, he could either guess correct or he could guess incorrect, and I'm going to use a C and an I. Now, there's 4 questions, so now we're going to move on to question 2. Well, let's say he guesses the first question correct. That means he could guess the second question also correct, or he could get the second one wrong. Well, if he guessed the first one incorrect, he could guess the second one correct or incorrect. Moving on to question 3. Well, coming out of here, he could again guess correct or incorrect, or correct or incorrect. And we're going to continue this. And then last but not least, he has question 4, which he could then guess correct or incorrect. And we're going to do this the whole way across. So now we're going to take a look at this and we're going to find our sample space. So from this, our sample space, if I start up here, I have correct on the first question, correct on the second question, correct on the third question, correct on the fourth question. So correct, 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 which means he would have got 100% on his quiz. Or he could have done correct, 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 incorrect, which means he got 3 out of 4, so he got a 75%. Now, I've used both of these guys in my answers, which means I need to move on to this guy. So we're still correct, correct, but now incorrect, correct. So he still gets a 75%, or correct, correct, incorrect, incorrect. So now he's at like a 50%. And that has exhausted those. So at this point, if you kind of see the break in your tree, we're going to move over to the other side. So still correct first, but incorrect second. Correct, correct. And then we're going to do a C, I, C, I, which is that one. Now we're going to move over to here. So C, I, C, C, I, which just took care of those 4. Now we're moving over to our other half, which means we're going to start with incorrect. So I, C, C, C. I, C, C, I, which was those 2. I, C, I, C, I, C, I, which was those 2. So now we're moving over to the other side. So now we're doing I, C, C, I, C, I, which was those 2. And then I, C, and then I, which means he got them all wrong, so he got a 0%. Now, this is our sample space, and if we count them up, there are 16 possible ways that he could guess the answers on this true-false multiple choice test. But we want to know what's the probability that he gets exactly 2 correct. So I'm going to search through my list. This one has exactly 2 C's. He got exactly 2 correct. Here he got exactly 2 correct. Here. Here. And I think that's it. So now we're going to count these up, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 out of 16, which simplifies to 3/8. If we make that into a decimal, that's approximately 0.375, which is then 37.5%. So he has a 37.5% chance of guessing exactly 2 correct answers on this quiz.